Welcome to the Master Tree Farmer mini-series, Preparing for the Next Owner. My name is George Kessler, and I will be your host for these programs. Landowners often invest decades of time and effort to manage their land. Many landowners have a goal to leave the land and the forest in better condition than when they first obtained it. Family members may have the same goal, or they may have different goals. What will happen to the land and the forest when you are no longer the owner? You can make preparations on how the land will be managed in the future. There are many possibilities available, such as intergenerational transfer, generation skipping, conservation easements, charitable giving, and establishing certain business entities. Whatever your wishes and goals, all options require careful planning and time to accomplish them. For example, successful intergenerational transfer may require 10 or more years to complete. This Master Tree Farmer program is a three-part program designed to assist you in planning for the future owner. The program will only be successful for you if you take the time to establish how your property will be handled in the future. This will require a considerable amount of thought, conversation, and planning on your part. These three workshops are designed to show you the options available to you and get you started toward completing the planning for your property. Let's get started in looking to the future for your property. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Master Tree Farmer mini-series, Preparing for the Next Owner. We're happy to be here and to be having you as an audience this evening. I want to give a tip of the hat to Deborah Gaddis in Mississippi, because Deborah, you have the largest number of people participating in this program of any state. So thank you for all the work that you've done. Thank you for each of the state coordinators and what you're doing to see that this program is available in your area. Let's go ahead and get started now and talk just a little bit. And I want to talk a little bit about this program. We're going to be having 3 nights here, and each of these 3 nights are going to be concentrating on specific different topics. These topics are going to start out with just an introduction to estate planning. We're going to look at some case studies and some examples of things that have been done. Next week we're going to be concentrating on intergenerational transfer, and then finally we're going to be talking about conservation easements and charitable giving. Now, as we're doing these things, we are going to be having a lot of opportunity to have what we call planning time or work time, because it's really essential that you people spend some time. First of all, you have to look at and know what it is that you have. And one of the things that you'll be given here later this evening is a worksheet that you can use, which will basically look at that particular situation, and you'll be able to put down what it is you have, where is it, and many other details of that nature. Now, as we go through this material here, we're going to be having to ask a lot of difficult questions, and some of these difficult questions are going to concentrate on things such as, what is my family unit, and do I have children? Do I have children that are interested? Do I have children from multiple marriages? There's all kinds of questions that are going to have to be addressed. And because of this, there are going to be times and opportunities when we're going to find ourselves possibly being less than comfortable in talking about these things. But it's very, very essential that we do this. Now, as we look at our estate, you're going to have an opportunity to list down all of the things that your estate has. And in doing this, we're going to be asking you to take each particular property that you have, to list some material and data down about it, to look for particular things, and the next speaker is going to talk about some of those things that you need to have. But in reality, I guess what I'm getting at is that oftentimes, while you may think you know what your estate is and that your spouse knows what your estate is, in reality, that's not true. And so often what happens is that someone passes on, and all of a sudden there's a quagmire because no one really knows the detail or has the details in some place. You're going to have an opportunity as you work through this particular course to begin to put things in order and to be able to have them in a place where they will be meaningful and they will be helpful to whoever the next owner may be. Now, one of the things you're going to be needing to do is looking at your family and determining, who actually is interested in the property. That's going to require honest, very thoughtful, and maybe even very painful evaluations of the situation that you have. Now, you can put that off and say that you're not going to do it, and if that's the case, then of course the problem will have to be addressed in some case or some way down the line, and it may not end up being the way that you would like to do it. We recognize one thing right off the bat. What we're talking about doing in this particular course is not easy. It's not an easy task. We also recognize that there has to be open communication. There has to be open communication between all the parties, and the two spouses have actually got to talk to each other. Maud may have to tell her husband Harry that she has been skimming $100 a week off of the till, and she's got it socked away somewhere, and he may not even know about it until then. But all of these things need to come out, and they need to be known. The one thing that we can guarantee you is that this whole process is going to take time, and as such, you're going to need to be able to be willing to spend the time. One of the other things that I can promise you is this, that if you're willing to say that I'll put it off till next week, the process will probably never take place. So let's get started this evening. We're going to go to our first speaker for the evening. This is Sarah Klingman. She's a lawyer. She's working out of Columbia, South Carolina. She has been a lawyer for 17 years now. She has a unique understanding of the issues that we're talking about tonight. She also has a spouse that's a forester. So there's a fine understanding here of forest land and all the elements that are associated with it. She's also a recognized lawyer in elder care issues or elder law issues, and I think that's something that you'll be interested to take into account with this whole process. We're going to look more at self-evaluation, then she's going to talk also to us some about the estate planning and how it all works. So let's get started now. Sarah, we're glad to have you here, and look forward to hearing what you say.